So now we're moving on to something a little bit different. We're still finding the slope, but instead of finding it on a graph using rise over run, we're going to use something called the slope formula, which is right up here. So I have the graph down here as a little tool if you need to refer back to it. It's also on your worked example when you go through it. But this is just something we can look at as we're using the formula. So the slope formula is delta y over delta x, or the change in y's over the change in x. So it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And all that means is x2 and y2, that's our second point, which in this case I wrote it, they're in green here and they're in green here. So our second point is 0, 4, and y1, x1 is our point right here, which is in red. So it really doesn't matter. You're going to get the same slope if you made this the first point and this the second point. You would come out with the same slope, but I usually work left to right, and so that's why this is our first point and this is our second point. So from here in the formula, all we do is plug these values in. So like I said, first point, second point, we're going to plug those numbers in for our y2, y1, x2, and x1. So our y2 value is what? Well, if we look over here, it's in point form xy, so our y value in this case is 4, minus, what's our y1 value? We come back over here, xy, so our y1 is 1, right? We're just plugging those numbers in. And now what's our x2 value? 0, minus, and our x1 value is a -2, so we're subtracting a negative, so I put it in parentheses. And now all we have to do is simplify. So simplifying this, we have 4 minus 1 on the top, and then 0 minus a -2. And you've worked on this before, so minus a negative becomes a positive. So +2. So our slope is 3/2 of this line. And so the reason we are now moving to the slope formula is because you're not always going to be given a graph where you can do rise over run. In this situation, it's here if you need it, but there will be sometimes where you're given just 2 points, and you're going to have to find the slope by using the formula with just those 2 points.